Not the sports news on OmniAudio.Africa. With Romy Titus and Kevin McCollum.
Winning begins with what you eat. Boost your energy with AGT Foods' range of nutritious grains and legumes. Play better, live healthier. Brought to you by AGT Foods Africa. Good food, good health, good life.
On the phone, we got Lerato Malekutu from Betway SA20. She's the head of comms. Lerato, last night's game, cracker. I mean, that's what you want, don't you?
That's what you want, eh? And MI's Cape Town have really just continued to dominate this year. I think they've ended bottom of the log of the first two seasons, so it's been great to see them finally clicking. They've had the players, they've had the star quality, so it's really shone this year.
I mean, there is that fanfare, Lerato, but at the end of the day, it's about getting bums in seats. There's got to be a recipe. What is the recipe? Is it enticing fans with, catch the ball with one hand and there's some money in your bank account, if it is that you have a Betway account, that is, doubles again. Are there tricks of the trade that made it so appealing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you sort of introduce a new product, you need to have a clear USP. And for SA20, when it started in season 1, I remember, it was just a few of us, Graham and Lynn, and now it's a huge team. But I think bringing a product that's for everyone, I think that's the key messaging for SA20. We want to, bring kids, we want grannies, we want moms, we want dad, we want the university students. So it's everybody can come to the match and have a great time. And I know you mentioned the Betway Cash 2 million. That's been a hit amongst the stadiums, everybody getting their one-handed catches. But essentially, it's a match experience that everybody can come and have a good time at.
Is it a gees of its own? Because I almost want to say, please take this recipe and now take it to, rugby, I think rugby gets the recipe, but let's take this recipe that you have and hand it over to football. Is it a one-size-fits-all, in getting bums in seats, the way you did with the SA20 that football could perhaps learn from?
We see football. Just this weekend we saw the Soweto derby. That's a whole experience on its own. But I think certainly just for cricket, the sport, has been through a few difficult years. We know South Africans love their sport. Sport like cricket, rugby, football are the top three. So for cricket, South African cricket really needed something that fans could be excited about. And I think when the competition came, you saw some of the best players in the world coming. You had that, stadium entertainment, that stadium experience. When all those, qualities merged together, it brought this unique product that people wanted to experience. And I think, going into season 3, we thought, okay, season 1, oh great, people are here, this is awesome. And in season 2, they still came back. So come season 3, we've seen the stadiums. I think it's the highest attendance we've had in all the years. It's really gone up, and it's shown that, people were desperate to have an experience that, the whole family can come to, that they can enjoy, and people love their cricket. So if they're not supporting Proteas, I guess, they're here at the SA20.
How do you measure the success? You said first year, the people were there. Second year, they returned in their numbers. Do you have a comparison? And how do you measure that, what it is that we have offered, we have delivered on, and then the measurement that those through the doors were happy where they were, that they got what it is they were promised?
Yeah, I think the measurement is through the feet. The people have spoken with their feet. We saw the season 1 attendance, I said, was great. It was unprecedented. Season 2, we had more sold-out matches. And already, again, this year, we've seen the number of sold-out matches that we've had have increased throughout from first and second season. So I think that for itself is a measurement. And then, our opening week, from a viewership point of view, on SuperSport and across digital, we've seen the most watched match in SA20 history. So I think the fans are speaking with their eyes and, through the turnstiles. And that for us has been the way that we've measured the continued success.
Do you have any figures perhaps on hand that you can just share with us for us to kind of see that graph go up?
I would have to go look through, but I don't have anything at the moment. But I do know that without a doubt the numbers have gone up. I mean, last year we saw a 75% attendance rate across the matches, and we even had rained out matches. And again, this year we obviously haven't audited everything, but certainly being in the calls, the ticketing calls, the audience calls, things have certainly looked up. That opening match, like I mentioned, it was the most watched opening match of an SA20. So already in that sense, we have achieved great results and definitely gotten better.
Yeah, man, it is. It is. It's something to marvel at.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, was it a surprise, Lerato, at all? I mean, from, let's say, you, Lynn, Nodia, and Graham at the beginning. So what were you expecting the first season? I mean, it's like this new product that'd been the global SA20 that hadn't quite taken off. There was issues around that. But this one just seemed to click in first thing. Was that a surprise to you guys at all?
I mean, the thing is, you never really know. So you in this working group, putting in the plans, you're working with all these international franchises, getting all these broadcasters on board, and I mean, you hope that it will work. But I remember Graham always saying that first match, I quite remember it at Newlands, and he was sitting like on the concourse, and there were all these people. The match was sold out, and he was just like, he got goosebumps because he's like, oh, the people came. So you can never really tell, but definitely after the few times that we South Africa did try to start a global league, and the failures, there will always be something at the back of your mind. But I mean, I think, yeah, we're here now, and it's been a resounding success. So thankfully, we've managed to get that off the ground.
And I guess that success comes again because the SA20 at the festive season, so twice in 1 year, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, that is the scheduling thing. We definitely don't want, the what happened last year with the clash with the test team. So it's been great that, we've managed to lock in that window. And I mean, it's peak summer, it's peak cricket. I think when everybody is on holiday during December, there's always cricket playing on the background, whether it's a Boxing Day test. But obviously with the FTP this year, the Proteas don't have a match. So it seemed to be the perfect time to slot the competition in. And I think, like I said, peak summer, it's peak cricket season. So I think we'll be in for a good month.
I think so too. Lerato, I know that it's probably for you, it's work, put your head down, get it done. You take in probably very little because you're probably in that work mode, adrenaline going, got to see that things get done. But for you, just a moment where you kind of just go, wow, I'm a part of this.
Yeah, you see, you're so right, Romy. I often try to remind myself, come on, Jake, stop. Yeah, like you say, lift your head, just take it in. But certainly last weekend when the Sunrisers were playing at St. George's Park, and it was a packed house, they had won, the band was going, the flags were waving. And I mean, I think the St. George's crowd is as diverse as you get. For me, that was like a wow moment. And the novelty also doesn't ever get old. I just sat there and I was just like, wow, guys, this is what this tournament is doing. It's bringing people together. It's bringing enjoyment. It's bringing, world-class cricket. That was probably the moment for me.
I have goosebumps. Enjoy every minute of it, every moment. Lerato, always good chatting to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Remy. Thanks, Kevin.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay.
You know what? It must be amazing when you sit back and you just take stock of what it is that you're a part of, because I don't think very seldomly do you do that. Yeah. You've got a picture with Nelson Mandela. How many times have you seen him in your life? That as a journalist, it becomes blasé, right? Because, oh, there he is again. And there he is again. And there he is again. And then eventually, in your mind, there he is, right? But for somebody else, it's just like, oh my word, there he is. And I think when you're in something that is so big that, everybody is in and that you play a role in getting it off the ground, you don't really take stock of it in that way, So I think it is nice always just to breathe. However, I don't think you can take the cricket recipe and apply it to rugby and apply it to football. I think it comes with different fans, perhaps. it comes, the sport is different in itself, other than, yay, we're here to support our favorite teams. And I think maybe they found the recipe for their fans and who it is they speak to and cricket lovers. And every sport now needs to find their own recipe because, I mean, just listening, I don't think, here's the blueprint, now you do it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, yeah.
I don't think so. I
No,
mean,
it's
we're
trouble.
not sitting on the grass,
Yeah.
you know? We might be drinking a Clippies and Coke, like someone we
Is
know.
Kevin fine around? Kevin fine? Anybody?
I don't know if we're taking off our shoes at a Bafana match, you know? And so I think it's different. You know, it comes with a different energy, a different approach, a different fan. And every sport, I think, has to find what it is that SA20 has so amazingly found.
Let's start with the basics. Realize that sport is ultimate reality TV, and then add the
I just want a
ingredients
good
to it.
boerewors roll, and I don't want to stand very long in the line for it.
Well, that's go to the Wanderers on Sunday. Kevin Fine, tickets, please.
And on that note,
We are tickets today. Bad segue, sorry. We'll speak to you tomorrow on Not the Sports News.
cheerio till then.
Live and on demand.
Welcome to Omni Sport.